for some stuff.
Well, we're on this.
Traveling?
It's called a 21-day diet,
Oh,
and so I eat too much. I've lost 5 pounds in 3 days. So
better than me.
Okay, I'm gonna trick or treat candy.
All right, well, welcome. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'd like to call to order the regularly scheduled November meeting of the Haymarket Planning Commission. Roll call, please.
here.
Present.
Here.
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 Here. All right, if we could all please stand for the pledge and remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moment of silence, please, and please remember the folks that lost their life in New York City. All right, thank you. All right, first order of business tonight is the minutes approval from our October 4 meeting. So if you all would take a minute here and look over those, please. All right, we have a motion to accept the minutes.
Connor Leak was absent,
He's no longer here on the.
He was listed
so
as
he was
present,
listed as present and he was
That
listed
is
as
correct.
voting.
and he voted.
So,
Yeah, we need to remove him because he was not here. Thanks for catching that. He wasn't here and he didn't vote.
and he wasn't in the adjournment also, there's
Right.
a vote there.
Make a motion to approve the minutes with those. You didn't do that, did you? No one else motioned it, did they?
No.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the minutes from October, was it 4th, with those
I'll second the
revisions.
meeting.
All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. All right, citizens' time. I'd like to welcome you all out this evening. So if there's any citizen that would like to address the Planning Commission, please come to the podium, state your name and address, please. All right, seeing none, we will close citizens' time. New business, ma'am.
So this evening, we have with us Miguel Perez, right? Perez, and he wanted to introduce himself, tell you guys about his project that he would like to do, and kind of just have a little open discussion. So, if you want to go ahead. In the packet on page 5, you'll have a brief little blurb about the project, and then there's some pictures that follow.
All right, welcome, sir. Appreciate you coming.
Appreciate your time this evening. My name is Miguel Perez. Own and operate Zonders Taqueria in Old Town Manassas. And for quite some time, I've seen Haymarket as a place I would love to open a second location. I've been looking for quite some time and finally settled on the old BB&T Bank Building, 14901, right here in the heart of town, as a possible second location. So we currently have the property in a study period to analyze to make sure that it works for us. And one of the things that we were looking to do was to convert the drive-through into a patio space. One of the things that we'd like to do is kind of continue the brick facade that is, if you're looking at the building on the left side on Madison Street, continue it down to provide a screening so that if we have patio diners that it doesn't affect the residents on Madison Street. And basically it would be the whole back portion of the building. We would raise the concrete up to the curb level, kind of fill in where the drive-through lanes are, build new curve around the side, and just improve the landscaping to provide more screening on the rear and on the opposite side of the building. I provided a picture of kind of our patio that we have in Old Town. So a little history about us is we opened 3 years ago in a spot that was a Thai restaurant for about 25 years. We renovated the space. We serve gourmet tacos. We do about 22 to 24 different types of tacos, all individual. I grew up in historic Old Town Manassas, so I love these old historic towns. I love the character. I love the small town feel. So we actually converted an old alleyway that was where you kept the trash dumpsters and just was not a nice site. We converted and turned into a patio. And we built artistic wall out of pallets. We incorporated some sails. We put colorful tables out. And now it's a temporary 5-month out of the year outdoor patio space. And it's been received very well in Old Town. We'd like to incorporate something like that here, but we're open to ideas and suggestions when it comes to colors and materials and all that to stay with the historic look and feel.
All right, any questions?
One, the patio on the side, the pictures are great and everything. On the side, will that be a covered patio on the side there, or is that just going to be?
So half of it will, under the bank part, will be covered. The other half would be uncovered, and we would probably want to do some kind of temporary, during the season types sun screening. Like we currently use sails. We use colorful sails that we incorporate, we tie up on posts, and then once the season's over, we take it down and pack it up. So it's some kind of screening to block the sun or umbrella type.
Couple of important things.
Yep.
I'm from Texas. I love Mexican food. I've eaten at your restaurant.
Okay.
I will tell you, I love the ideal. I was looking at this, and we're a walking town. And the more restaurants we can get, quality restaurants, which if this goes through, if this is anything like your other one in Old Town, I'll stay on a diet for about no longer when you get.
We have healthy options. Less wraps.
So, well, about 5 or 6 tacos and stuff are pretty healthy because that's half of 10, so I'm reducing. But that's all I have. I love the idea. I'm anxious to see the plans, though.
Yeah, we're
once you
I'm
get to
currently
that.
working with Loveless Porter Architects, and they're working on renderings as we speak. This was just something very informal, kind of come out, introduce myself, get to know everyone.
Appreciate it.
Pictures that I kind of just drew on with Adobe. But yeah, we're working on actual renderings that we can bring
Good.
back to you.
Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Do you have any idea what's the capacity, how many people?
So I think we're looking at half of it to be more of a loungy type area, more patio, furniture that you could sit, spend time, maybe a fire pit type, and then the other half be actual dining seating. I would anticipate maybe about 45 to 50 seats of actual dining seats, and maybe another 15 to 20 of seats that people could just wait for a table, hang out, enjoy.
I think it's a great idea also. One concern that I would have is it seems about 60 feet away, there's a Mexican restaurant.
Different menus.
So one of the things that that I noticed is, so in Old Town we actually have another authentic Mexican restaurant, and we actually, since the day they opened a year and a half ago, our business went up. I found that we actually complement each other well, and I don't know how the atmosphere here is with the business owners. I'm still learning, but we have 16 restaurants in 4 blocks in Old Town Manassas, and the more restaurants have opened, the better we've all done.
Right.
And we've all complemented each
Everybody
other.
comes.
The thing that I would tell you is, other than guacamole and margaritas, the food's totally different. So we always think tacos, but we're doing things like sesame seeded ahi tuna, we're doing grilled mahi, we're doing bison. It's in the same category, but at the end of the day, we should complement each other well.
I eat here a lot, a whole lot. So that'll be competing, but it is a whole different menu.
I want to know if you ever eat at home. I see it out all the time.
Is it look
Sorry, I
like
couldn't
kind of
resist.
burrito also you sell? or-
No, just 90% of our menu is tacos,
Okay.
separate, individual tacos. So people like it because you can come in, you can have one, you can have two, and it's a variety of different things. Everything from, like I said, from fish to bison to, we have a fried chicken taco. So, like I said, the overlap is, margaritas, guacamole, but at the end of the day, the food is very different. And I've enjoyed dining there many times here, and I'm very confident that we would complement each other.
How about your outside seating capacity in the patio areas?
Oh, so that was that. So inside, I'm thinking it's going to be about 75 seats inside.
Right.
Outside, I'm thinking about 45 to 50 seats outside.
Okay, so that was.
Actual dining seats, yeah. There would be additional seating area, but not actual dining seats.
Of course,
And that would be seasonal, that would be 5 or
Seasonal,
6 months?
We usually run it from first week of May to first week of October. We do that in town because we have our fall festival, so we end it with the fall festival. I don't know the schedule here, so I'd kind of, if there,
Maybe with
we have
Haymarket Day or something.
there's a big festival, I believe, here, right?
Haymarket Day.
Haymarket Day, and that goes until, is it September?
Third Saturday.
Third Saturday in September.
So I'd probably go to that day, and after that, wrap it up.
What do you foresee in the south side, which, taking this, the drive-through section here and just stretching back there?
Yeah.
Is that going to be parking? Are you going to have
Yeah.
sufficient parking?
Yeah, there we will have, I believe, 30 parking spots on the entire property, and between the parking and the backside of the patio, I would just want to increase additional landscaping, more trees, bushes, to provide screening. There's already nice landscaping there. I would just want to fill it in a little bit more.
I personally will say that I've been in town 21 years, that be very conscious, like you are, of the screening towards the residential, because over the years, those residents have had issues with the bank drive-through and all that stuff, and they closed at 5 o'clock, so
Yeah.
just be very conscious of that when you're doing your design.
Is the outside of the facade going to be pretty much the same with the brick and all of that, or?
Yeah, I would like to continue the look and feel of the bank with the brick. I would like to completely, that the the side that is Madison Street, completely block that off. Continue that brick facade all the way down so that, one, the noise doesn't come over, or even when the residents look out their door, they're looking at a brick facade, kind of continuing the look and feel of the building down. So that, because I believe behind the building is another business, Tobacology. And then on the other side is another business and parking lot. So that I would screen with landscaping. Plus, the other thing is you want it to look attractive and nice for your customers as well. So it kind of serves two purposes, you know, keeping nice with the neighbors and also something attractive for your customers.
And do you serve fish tacos?
We serve multiple fish tacos.
And I haven't had one. The only one I haven't had.
Do takeout. Yeah. Wednesday nights, like. Yeah. All right. Well, good comments. Any other comments? How soon? What's your timeline?
So we're currently 30 days into our study. We have, I believe, 15 more days. We're probably going to have to extend it because we have had issue with the water, or we have to tap into the Prince William
Service
Authority water because the well, the health department won't approve a well. So we're probably going to have to extend it. But I mean, our timeline is to move as quickly as possible. I would love to be open by next summertime. That would be the realistic goal. But we're working on the plans now and hope to have some more formal in front of you soon.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming. Thank you. All right. Moving on to old business. SUP 2017-003 Haymarket Town Center redevelopment final site plan.
Yes, so last month, we discussed the waivers for the landscaping in the parking lot, and I mentioned that we might want to look into changing the London plane tree out. So currently on the plans for Washington Street and Jefferson, there's Washington hawthorn, and the parking lot tree is the London plane tree. So I got in touch with Journey Through Hollowed Ground, and on page 9, 10, and 11, she sent me back some information. These are the recommended primary pallet trees that they use up and down 15 for their route. It kind of gives a little information on why the color mainly is this kind of why they use them. But I was hoping that we could maybe pick a tree tonight if you guys are up for it, or if you guys would prefer, we can discuss it in a work session or a later date. That's up to you. But
my choice was the red maple, and I'm so happy that it's on the list.
yeah, and driving through town, you know, coming to work, going out during the day, I think right now we get a good sense of what the fall colors really look like, and I think it would really complement what we have currently.
The nice part about the maple, too, is the root system isn't
Yes,
imposing.
absolutely.
Right upside.
Arborist in Rita and actually showed him this. That's why I love these coming to us when they do. Give us time to look at them. Thank you for that. He said the same thing, and
Red
that would
maple.
be my choice, is that red maple. The surface roots, they don't expose, they don't grow.
The sidewalks.
Exactly.
You know,
And they're beautiful trees. So that's,
positive.
All right, well, let's pick a tree tonight. I don't think it's going to be that hard. Let's just go around.
I would
And which tree
recommend
do you like?
red maple.
Red maple?
Definitely red maple.
Red maple.
Red maple.
Red maple.
Red maple.
Okay,
You have the
so
tree.
I will get them to change the trees. I don't think so, since it's a recommendation to the engineering company. If, well, hold on. If you guys are ready, we can also approve the parking waiver that we discussed last month. That was for, instead of 53 spaces that we have now, they're going to give us 61. The required is 70. And so we were looking at the shared parking manual, and it's allowed with all of the businesses we have on site. And the second set of waivers was the landscaping waivers for the property line behind the building that currently has a lot of bamboo and a fence. We're going to keep the fence, add more landscaping, and then on the side of the building, it will be an addition of landscaping to what is currently there.
Will the bamboo remain?
The bamboo remains because it is on the other property, so it's a residential property that has planted the bamboo. I believe when they go in to plant it, they'll take what's on our side out, and the fence is still there to block.
You know, when they do that, Emily, I've had some terrible experience with bamboo. Well, it was my neighbor's bamboo, but I had the bad experience. The way that stuff grows and
Yeah.
sprouts, what my neighbor, he finally got his killed out because he wanted to get rid of it too. I had to actually go on my side. I ditched and I actually filled it in. Because that's, you can kill it, but if every root's not dead, it's still going to spread and grow like crazy. So I don't know if it's too late to look at that, but some type of small barrier or something, and it would have to be a foot deep, because that's about how deep the bamboo, when you kill it, it's dangerous at about a foot below.
Or reaching out to the neighbor and seeing
I
if
think
we
they have. Did y'all talk to the neighbor?
Yeah.
I believe they did prior
They're not,
to.
I don't think they're interested in doing anything.
So, and we can, when we talk with, when they start actually doing the plan, we can see what landscaping options they have for mitigating it and taking care of it when the planting
They'll have
occurs.
ideas. They
Yeah.
know what they're doing.
All right, so as far as language is concerned, ma'am, do you have a draft motion?
I do. If you flip to page 8, I have a draft
Kind of
motion
missed that.
for the waivers. And then whoever reads it, I did put in here,
Okay.
insert tree name, so you can just say red maple.
Somehow I missed that, I apologize. And
It's
I read
okay.
through this 3 or 4 times. All right, so do we have someone like to make a motion about the red maple
I'll make a
and
motion
the...
to approve the parking waiver for SP 2017-003 Haymarket Town Center redevelopment final site plan, and the landscaping waiver for SP 2017-003 Haymarket Town Center redevelopment final site plan, with the recommendation that the parking lot trees are changed to red maple and the street trees are changed to red maple.
All right, thank you, sir. Do we have a second?
I will second it.
All right, y'all are very,
Congenial.
yeah, there must be something going on tonight. But anyway, all right, do we have any discussion here?
What time frame are we looking at?
That I would have to get back to you.
Okay.
We'll have more after the
After we
town
nominate.
council meeting.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any discussion? All right, let's do a roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 All right, thank you for your work on that. It was very helpful, appreciate it. I think it's a great choice of tree, and it will add some more color to Main Street.
And real quick, if I might add, when I reached out to Journey through Hollowed Ground, they were very interested in working with us, helping us with a tree plan, and if we can do any kind of planting, doing something with them on the trees. So I think this might be something we explore in the future.
We might even be able to acquire them at a better rate through them, because they do offer that as a part of their nonprofit.
And when they donate not donate, but when they assign the tree to a soldier, I think, we could even see about maybe we want 1 or 2 at the museum if we have room in the park.
Yeah, it would be good to have a connected educational exhibit at the museum with background on the soldiers that we're honoring and
Well, there's a little GIS chip that they put with each tree.
Right.
And You can put your phone over it, and it gives you the
You
whole
go out
history.
Route 15.
Yeah.
I worked with them when I was in charge of Loudon, and it's tremendous.
It's amazing.
But there are people in town, we know from talking, that do not use
Well, that's true.
technology. So
Absolutely.
I think to have something physical in the museum on the histories of the soldier would be another way to also share the history.
And we could also maybe put in some other kind of placard to identify it along with the,
Yes.
with the tree.
All right, all great suggestions. All right, let's move on to Dogs Day Out discussion. Great job summarizing our discussion from last time. I see the owners are here. Would you guys like to address the commission?
Good evening. Thank you for your time this evening. Just to kind of set things up, everybody on the same page here, we were not aware that there was a meeting held October 4th with the Dogs Day Out on the agenda. So I want everybody to know, we didn't know. That's why we weren't here. And we believe that the information that was presented was misrepresented to you all. So the first item is the apartment and the upstairs. That is for a Dogs Day Out use. That is for a caretaker that will be staying as a resident in that apartment full-time. That's not something that we're renting out. That's not a revenue stream for a Dogs Day Out. That is for the care of the animals overnight if there's an emergency. We talked about this, since 2016, back to July 6, 2016, actually. Went through a PowerPoint presentation with everybody after the public hearing that was scheduled and walked through all of the plans and why we had different things. So nothing has changed there. So I wanted to make sure everybody knew that. We did change it from first floor to second floor after we went through 5 iterations with the ARB before we got an approved design. And part of the approved design was having a higher pitched roof for aesthetic purposes. When we have the higher pitched roof, we got a second story. We decided to move the apartment up to the second story so there's more space for the dogs downstairs. That's what the apartment is all about. Does anybody have any questions about that?
I'll make a comment, Andrea. Thank y'all for being here tonight. When we discussed this, because we went back and looked at some of the videos, I don't think there was a mention of a second floor.
Well, it wasn't, we didn't.
It wasn't mentioned of a second floor.
No, there wasn't a second floor when we talked about this because
Exactly.
the ARB had not yet reviewed our building
Okay.
design.
And the other thing was it was represented as a resident, and we said, no, a resident there was not what was discussed. It was a caretaker, and that's,
Caretaker/resident. So caretaker is responsible for the dogs, but they will live there full-time. They will live there full-time.
on a second floor apartment.
Yes, it's not a paid apartment. It is their responsibility to be there every night. Yeah.
When you say every night, we're talking about 24/7.
Someone will be there.
Home,
That is their
Or that
home.
is a shared,
No, it's not a shared situation. It is their home. It is their home. In fact, the police chief asked us if he could live there because he's there several nights a week here, and he is staying with a friend because he lives in Halifax, I understand. So he asked if he could stay there, and I said, we need somebody there 7 nights a week, not just 3 nights a week. So
So this would be an employee of.
could be
Dogs
considered an
Day Out
employee. Their responsibility would be to live there at night.
And to care for the dogs, so they would be your employee?
In a sense, yes.
Okay.
They may not be getting compensation. It depends. They could be an employee of a Dog's Day Out and also decide that they're going to live in the apartment. Or it could be someone who is their job is to basically be there overnight, every night.
All right.
Would it be
So-
shared, I'm sorry,
No,
would it
go
be
ahead.
shared? Would it be, because 24/7 for somebody to have a job is,
Oh, they're only there when we're not there. So that, the business is open during the day from 6 a.m. until 7
Right.
p.m. So they need to be there after 7 p.m. at night.
but every night, all year long, 365 days a
Yeah,
year.
so if they're going on vacation, then we will find, Jim or myself will stay there, or another employee of the a Dog's Day Out will stay there overnight, so we have coverage.
you're still planning on this being only an exceptional thing, that, a dog or 2 dogs are not picked up
No, that's never been the plan. The
Oh,
plan.
absolutely. That was the understanding I think we had as a commission.
No, sir. The idea is that it is a doggy daycare. There's grooming services available, both for professional groomer as self-wash as well for the spa that's there. And then the other service is boarding, and boarding is overnight care for dogs.
I may be absolutely wrong in my remembrance, but it was not. It was only for those times when a dog could not be picked up.
No.
That you were going to be prepared to keep the dog overnight.
No, it's for when people go on vacation, they need a place to leave their dog. It's boarding services in addition to doggy daycare. Will there be as many dogs at night as there are during the day? No. You know, on high season areas, Christmas time, separate, spring break, summertime, there will be more dogs overnight than there would be on any other
So
time.
this is basically a kenneling service. It's
not a
not
kennel.
babysitting for dogs.
A kennel service, if you read the definition of a kennel, is boarding and breeding of any animals. We're not doing any breeding. We'll be housing the animals overnight as a service, but it's an ancillary service to the doggy daycare and the grooming.
And any boarding that is done, they can't just drop a dog off for boarding. It has to have daycare as well. So a daycare dog can also be a boarding dog. A boarding dog can be a daycare dog and a boarding dog, but you can't just have one boarding dog. Like, you just can't drop a dog off at like 6:50 at night and say, I'll pick him up tomorrow. That's not allowed. You have to have daycare. So when you say boarding, really daycare is kind of assumed because you have to take care of the dog during the day, at night, and then they'll pick him up the next day or whatever you might believe.
I have to tell you, I had the same opinion. I thought when we talked about this before that it was more for the emergency cases and stuff like that. I don't ever recall saying that it's a full boarding. I don't remember us ever bringing that up. And I went back into my notes. I couldn't find it anywhere.
We have it on video record where we've discussed it multiple times.
And that particular, if you have those meetings, let us know what they are, and we will go back and look at them too. Or at least I will.
Actually, Marchand spoke about it, and I do have a timestamp of when that was said, and he mentioned that Healthy Paws, they offer the boarding service as well as ancillary service. They do the veterinary, and they offer the boarding as well, which is
Separate and apart from
veterinary
services offered.
Because I went back and looked at several of them. I don't recall. I remember, our discussions, but I didn't hear one time. In fact, one of the times I think I was the one who made a comment, is this more for emergency or whatever? So if you recall which meetings those were that are taped, please, I'd like to go back and look at it. Because I've been under the impression the whole time, in fact, told people it's not a full boarding. It's, on an occasion when people are, they're having problems or whatever for emergencies or whatever. But I wasn't under the impression it was a full boarding.
So what would be the problem with the full boarding?
The fact that I didn't think that's what it was from the start. And it was just a major
It's a
change.
zoning issue also, because the zoning for a kennel, I believe, is industrial, not residential. So we have, that's where we're all conflicted. Well, I think I could speak, that's where I'm conflicted, because it is a true zoning issue. And you had asked for a change in the R status of that land and, to business, and it's not industrial. And industrial is what goes along with the kennels because of noise and all the other, and I know you've done mitigating for noise, but it is a zoning issue.
So for all of the other dog stay outs that are in service today, not all of them are considered industrial. They're in corporate settings, in business park settings. The Ashburn location.
That's Loudoun County.
Yeah.
I understand, I'm
Totally
just
different.
giving some reference.
Yeah, understand.
And if you look at Dogtopia, which is in Prince William County, which kind of follows, they're also in a corporate setting. They have businesses right next door.
But if this is residential setting, this is not corporate. I mean, this is
But we're B1.
right
But you
adjacent.
got that B1 zoning.
But it's
Because-
B1 zoning, right? So
That you were basically doing a babysitting service for dogs, not a kenneling service, which is 24/7, 365 days a year. That's a residential street. It shouldn't have to have people 24/7 hearing dogs or being,
They're not going to hear, remember we talked about the mitigation plan for the noise? They're not going to hear dogs at night.
And the lights go
Just like
out.
they wouldn't hear them during the day. Dogs sleep at night, just like they do at home. There's no difference to the exterior. And honestly, I mean, we were pretty taken back by the comments that were made. Remember, everything's recorded, so we went back and watched it. We were pretty taken back because we haven't changed our business plan. We are not being dishonest at all. This is exactly what we've talked about. And we found on, 10 occasions in the videos where we went through all the videos and actually marked the time stamp where we discussed these services. In fact, there have been times where members sitting right here tonight have said, we're excited about boarding our dog with you. So I don't understand why this is a surprise. It's very confusing to us.
I don't, first of all, I don't think we would ever accuse you of not telling the truth. I think there's a real miscommunication here. A lot of times when I say boarding, I mean daytime boarding. You know what I mean? That would be, I don't mean necessarily kenneling. I just want to say that because I think we need to ratchet it down. To me, this is illegal, as well as like, how do our zoning laws go? What works with our zoning laws? What do we need to do? I'm confused about what we need to do. What's the best thing to do?
So are we.
So if we want to be crystal clear about this, I mean, we've been approved as a dog beauty parlor.
Yes.
With everything that we're doing today.
Yes.
I mean, that's how we went through.
Yes.
If we want to make it more crystal clear, the town approached us back in July and told us that, they found this old ordinance for a kennel and that they suggested that we propose some new text so that it goes into personal services like it does in the other areas. So we did that. Now, the information that was presented, and I know, Emily, you're new, so I'm not blaming
There's
you
a lot of
at all.
backstory, a lot of
Lot of
people.
backstory.
Understand.
Lots.
But the information we presented was a Wikipedia definition for a doggy daycare that we wanted added to the personal services within B1, and that does talk about boarding services. So, and I am sorry if there's a confusion around terminology, but in our world, boarding means overnight.
Wikipedia is.
Yeah, we don't.
We can't do Wikipedia,
Yeah.
but what we need to find, I think, is a proper definition of what it is, and maybe go to other counties and look and see.
May I encourage you? I looked at Loudoun, Prince William, and I can tell you the other county. I'll have to look which one. They approach it in their ordinance as well. They use certain definitions and zoning maps. So you might start there and look for those definitions and how it directly is defined as a use, because I know they separate veterinarian hospitals and kennels and other facilities. And so I would start there and we, come up with a text change and then we approach it that way. I think with the second-story apartment, same thing. Our prior ordinance had allowed a second-story apartment in the B1. It was before I got here that it was changed, so I don't know if that was accidentally left off of our new ordinance or if that was changed for a particular reason. But I encourage you guys to come with a zoning text amendment if that's the change you would like to see,
So
that it
for
come
the-
back.
For the second-story apartment, that exists today in B2 and B1 zoning today.
Today, it doesn't in our ordinance. In the
Understand.
old ordinance,
Right.
it was allowed, and so people were allowed to build that use, and then that became what is now in our ordinance a non-conforming use. However, it could have accidentally been left off with the changes.
We were told from Steve Geyerson that that was a clerical error
Okay,
and that it was left out unintentionally.
okay.
So he told us not to worry about that piece. So that's why we didn't even address it in our response back to the town.
There's also some signage, I believe, Steve.
Yeah, he said there's signage issues in the ordinance. There's all kinds of things that were missed
Little-
from the first one to the second one, which would make everybody non-conforming here. So I don't know if he's addressed all those items with you when when somebody went back and reviewed the old to the new to figure out what was missing. But there was more things than just impact what we're discussing tonight.
Okay.
Okay. So it's on A Dog's Day Out to come up with text for.
So when an applicant has an issue like this, it is up to the applicant to ask for a zoning text amendment to be made. That's a process you go through. You guys will come up with what you would like to be in there. We work on it together, you and I do, and then we bring it back to the Planning Commission. They review it, they go through the process, and then we make motions to approve, disapprove, and how we go from there.
So would the zoning text amendment for both the daycare/boarding services that we do today, in addition to the grooming services, be done in tandem with the second story?
They can all
apartment?
be done together. It'll be, when we do write-ups and things, they will be separate, but the actual actions can happen at the same time.
So what's the time frame on this? Because given we were supposed to start digging here any day now, we've been working on this for several years, and we need to
Correct.
get this going. We're paying interest now on a construction loan that we settled on just last week.
I can't give you a time frame tonight. That's kind of, in a sense, up to you guys. It's up to our planning commission. It's something, if we start working on it, tomorrow, next week, it'll make it go faster.
We can still move forward with our construction?
So you have the site plan, and that allows you to do a dog beauty salon use, the grooming service, and the daytime use only. So you can move forward with construction under that use only. I suggest that the revision plan that showed up earlier this week, that maybe we find a time to meet and discuss that and work on the revision and go from there.
So the revision, just so everybody knows, was between the time the ARB approved our building, which was a two-story building, and when we did the site plan, it was a one-story property. There was a clerical error on those pages where prop story 1 was not changed to prop story 2.
But the ARB approved it? Have they seen the plans and approved the
They've seen
second
the
story?
Building, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I'm the liaison now to the ARB, but I've only been there for one meeting, so it wasn't at that
We
meeting.
went through various
Susan was on
iterations.
it.
Yeah,
We
various
did
iterations.
It's been approved.
5
Okay.
iterations of the building design. Yeah. Good there.
I'll just say I too know the due diligence you all have done. I mean, we've all made that comment. I think it was just, without a doubt in my mind, anyway, I'm 64 and going on 90 probably, but there was some confusion in my mind as to what we talked about and everything. But, I think Emily kind of is driving the train there and on what you need to
Follow the
do.
process and
Yeah, and I'm too like you, I'd like to move on with it.
Communication is key.
Yeah.
All right, other comments?
Can I ask a question? Given what we've said tonight, are we going to have any issues? Is everybody kind of in agreement with where we're going with this? I mean,
No.
you're not?
I'm not.
Did you see how many people came to our booth at Haymarket Day?
Yes.
We had a ton. It was an amazing day. We were so appreciative for the town in putting that together, and we had an amazing day. And we had a lot of people come, and they were super interested as to when we're going to open because they're going on vacation for spring break. And they want to be able to leave their dogs here. And they were so happy that there was something here planned and approved that they could come and have a safe place for their animals.
But we have to protect our town residents as well. So,
We have
I mean,
to look
that
at it.
event was for people inside and outside of town. So we really have to do our due diligence, follow our process, follow the ordinances that are in place. So we have to protect our residents. I mean, that's who appointed us to be here. So we really have to wait and see how this all, we get advised by our attorney to do this, if this falls in line. There's a lot of moving parts to it. So it's hard to say, for me, as how it will end up, because I have to consider all those things.
Please know that we've done everything we can to make this as simple and as clear
Transparent
and
as
as
possible.
transparent. And,
If you could notate, or if you have notated someplace, the references that you say you have
You want to
seen.
read them out? You've got them handy?
If you have them written and want to leave them, I can also insert it into the public record.
Okay.
And then Emily could send them to us.
Yes.
Yeah, that might be easier.
Email them.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah, if you want, I can make copies and email that out first thing in the morning to the commission.
We can do that. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Just one quick question. So I just want to clarify my mind. So they can go forward with their site plan as of now?
Correct.
Okay,
It has been signed for
Okay.
the dog beauty salon use.
okay.
Quick question then. If the text amendment changes go through and it changes, then what happens?
I will have to let you know on that.
I feel like it's getting, like you're in, I don't know if I should say that, but if your use now is small, so it would get large. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not.
The use would be the same number of cars would be coming.
No, I understand that. But as far as legally and ordinance-wise, it would allow you for more use as opposed to less. Do you see what I'm saying?
But it would be the same number of dogs coming in.
I
Because they would
understand what
have
you're
to
saying,
be.
but that's not how the zoning ordinance looks at it. It's not the number, it's the actual function of the business.
Okay, and I will just put it on the record too, that Healthy Paws Veterinary Hospital also offers boarding services outside of veterinary care, and they're also in a B1 service district. So, just something else to think about.
So the dogs that would come to stay overnight would be dogs that are members of a Dog's Day Out?
Yes, they have to be approved clients. They basically have to all be evaluated before they can enter the property.
They have to have
as
their
a client.
shots and all of that. the
Oh,
same
absolutely.
as-
So
Yes, we have software that
So-
manages all of that for us.
That's
It would
key.
be dogs that would come during the day and now maybe stay over night.
But not necessarily. If someone doesn't, is that true? Can someone just become your client and have all those things done, their shots and their records, and go through all your paperwork, and the only service that they use would be overnight boarding when they travel?
They have to be a dog daycare before they can board.
Okay.
Because they're coming in during the day. We don't allow them to come in at night. They have to come in, get assimilated into the pack that's there before they can stay overnight.
Okay.
They have to play nice.
All right, I think, having listened to this, here's what we need to do. We can discuss this if you like. We need the videotape references, because videotape doesn't lie. It will speak. So if we could get the references, keeping in mind we've dealt with two different ordinances. We have multiple businesses start the process under old ordinances, then we changed ordinances. So some wanted to go back, some wanted to go forward, someone wanted parts of both. So obviously now we're operating under a new ordinance that was just put in place, so that's where we need to stay. And we can always go back and do zoning text amendments if necessary. I think both sides are operating in good faith. Obviously, I can understand their frustration, but I too was under the impression that the only dogs that were going to be left were the ones that couldn't be picked up. So we need to go back and look at that. We need to take another look at the zoning. And we need clarification on this apartment. I'm not sure, what legalities, somebody's not an employee, but still in charge of a person's dog, where that all fleshes out. I would like I don't want to discuss it tonight, but we need clarification of, they're just going to live there rent-free, or we need to know exactly what this apartment is. So if you could put together the videotape references and get that out, and if need be, we could call a special meeting, but as of right now, they can go ahead with what's been approved, nothing's changed. And we'll go from there. I'll wait to hear from you, and then we'll develop a course of action.
Okay.
All right?
That sounds
Any
good.
questions on that?
The only question I would have would be would this need to be taken before the town attorney as well? Because it's a zoning, I know it's a zoning change amendment, but do we need to dot every I, cross every T? And I'm just throwing that out.
With any zoning amendment change, anything like that, it has to go through the town attorney. That's how we always will have to work with the ordinance and changes of that matter.
Can we get to him quickly on these matters?
Absolutely.
Okay. Reasonable timetable to go back and do the research. It's Wednesday. And I'm not going to hold you to it, but in your expertise, what do you think your turnaround will be? A week, 2 weeks?
I would say probably by the end of next week, I can have put together a report on what the videos say, the minutes, kind of have you the timestamps in there so you guys can reference them yourselves if you like and have that information. So I would say next Friday or Friday we're off. The following Monday after Veterans Day. The 13th.
13th.
So why don't we plan for the 13th? I will have something put together that gives us kind of over the holiday to think about it. Maybe if we need to come back, December 4th, I believe, is that next Planning Commission meeting. Then we'll have something ready for then to discuss if need be.
All right, because at the end of the day, we want to do this right.
Absolutely.
All right, any other discussion? All right, well, thanks for coming, and we appreciate it. All right, Town Council update.
Where to begin? Shelley's first day was the 30th, Monday, so she's now our full-time clerk, so welcome her. She has had a little bit of planning commission experience in another jurisdictions, but I'm sure she'll get back into the swing of things. We don't have our town council meeting until Monday, so there's not really much of an update. There's a lot of exciting, proposed businesses coming to town. Jerry Shiro, who was here previously as our temporary manager, is now the town business manager. He is here for the foreseeable future. We're getting down to work. The town holiday party is December 2nd. Santa Claus is coming. We're doing s'mores for the wound. What is the exact name of it? It's the wound.
Serve Our Willing Warriors.
Thank you, Kathy. Serve Our Willing Warriors. We're also doing a drive for the food pantry in conjunction with that. There'll be singing groups, all that kind of stuff. Come out, come help. And the town staff and board Christmas party is on December 15th, which is a Friday, 6 p.m. I will be sending out an email to everybody. It's not going to be here at Town Hall this year. We're going to have it at my house. So everyone's invited. I'll send out all the information, but kind of mark it on your calendars. It's going to be a potluck like it's always been done before. We'll provide the turkey and the ham, and then everybody else brings everything. So,
Could you tell about the food pantry and the drive? That's not just a one day, or is it?
Well, we're collecting on the day of the holiday event,
Okay.
which is December 2nd. We will have encourage people that come to the event to bring non-perishable items for the food pantry. And then we'll sell the s'mores. And then all those proceeds will go to the Willing Waters. And I think that's it.
All right, thanks, ma'am. Architectural review update, sir.
Just got a couple things. It was a rather quick meeting, but we talked about the bike racks for the town center here. And we all kind of agreed on one, or kind of recommended that one. One of the members of the ARB wasn't, she thought we ought to look at others, but they're going to provide more information on that. And the other were town signs. I did some checking in my job on the town signs and using, what we're looking at is, as you go into Leesburg, the Welcome to Leesburg town signs, something like that. Probably on 55 and 15, I guess, really the four corners somehow there. Coming down Jefferson Street, where it says Town of Haymarket, town corporate limits or whatever, I can get the approval, or I will do the approval, to, if they want to put something like Welcome to Haymarket on top of that or something. But those signs, they're VDOT signs, and it's a permit, but I've already greased that. We can make that happen. It would just, the town would have to put up the new sign, and right now, I know coming down Jefferson, it's a 4x4, and at the top of it is the corporate sign. So another sign, another post would have to go up if you want to add something above that. So that won't be a problem from VDOT as far as getting that permitted. That will not be an issue. That was really just the two things to.
Would that be just like a little additional rather than the nice sort of a kind of a Leesburg one?
Yeah, like on Jefferson, it's just they're talking about a sign.
On the gateways, the big
That'd be-
intersections,
yeah.
they would be larger and
Right.
more substantial, but on the side streets,
It'd be
they'd
something like
smaller.
this, that,
Yeah.
something small, not much bigger than the corporate limits is now.
Which is sad, I think.
It really is.
Because it's, it's
It is,
it's
but
an intro to the town, and it's
is.
mingy.
I mean, we're working, trying to get like some, like the town seal and things like that, so we're nailing down the designs. We've really gone through all that and kind of narrowing it down, so.
I forwarded an email to Emily. I mean, this started several years ago, and a lot of work was put into it by the town.
Yes.
And reviewed by VDOT. So I forwarded that so we don't reinvent the wheel.
Right. It's been going on a while, and it's a
So we-
complicated process.
From the VDOT perspective, like I said, the permit for the small signs will not be an issue. The bigger signs probably won't be an issue. It just depends on where. Obviously, you got to look at sight distance and stuff like that. But I'm confident that we can come up with something
That will
that's
fit
going to work
VDOT's
and look good.
guidelines.
We got the divergent diamond working great.
Oh, it does.
Sheets is about to open up. We're doing, pardon?
When's the date for, does anyone know?
I think it's 15 November.
I had Derek come in today, and they're actually a little bit ahead of schedule and planning for next Friday, the 10th.
They're working really.
Yeah, they've been working very hard, and so
I was surprised. I was on vacation last week, and we came back and to see the cement poured, everything done, and my Harley will be happy that it's open too.
Everybody will be happy there's that.
All right, well, sir, thank you. All right, town planner update, ma'am.
So we have, as Susan mentioned, a couple kind of exciting opportunities for new businesses in town. I've had a couple meetings with some potential applicants and been working on a couple zoning violation issues around town. We're actively working on those, getting letters out. And that is about all I have.
Is there anything in the works for the fairgrounds area? Is there anything?
So at our last town council meeting, Guy Gravitz came. He's representing BM Smith, and he mentioned that they're working with someone who is interested in purchasing the property, and that person would like to pick up the old site plan that they were working on and continue with that, including the residential, the hotel, all of those items. So I have yet to hear from him, but I'm hoping soon we'll hear something.
Is there anything happening with the mess across the street?
I had a meeting about a month ago with a gentleman who was also working with Stan Smith on purchasing the property. He was kind of running some numbers, design stuff, wanted to get some feedback on what's allowed, what's not allowed. So he also has been in touch with us. However, I have not heard back from him in a couple weeks, so I'm not quite sure where we stand with him.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions?
All right, any other items we need to
Just
discuss?
have one, has everyone met Shelley?
I have not.
Okay.
Say hello.
Shelley, you want to introduce yourself to the couple that have not met you?
I'm Shelley Kozlowski. I was a teacher for 25 years. Before that, I worked in the city of Manassas for the planning director and the board of, and the zoning director.
Okay, wonderful.
Welcome.
Wonderful.
I would welcome Shelley. And I had one thing about the walking tour. I think maybe we should postpone it till we have either another time of day where it's light, we don't have to worry about, I think we need more than an hour, and I think we need better weather. I mean, I think we're going into a bad weather period, so maybe it's not, it needs to be postponed a few months to be realistic. I'm just going to throw that out.
I had another idea, and this is up to you guys. I drafted up a nice little schedule. I apologize, we had to cancel the session, but I can also send that out, and if you guys want to walk kind of on your own, and then maybe what we do is we all come back together in here for the hour and we discuss what we find. We can take pictures, we can do it that way, because I can always do the walk during the day and gather some pictures myself, and we'll have the presentation. So if you guys want to continue to move forward with it soon, we can do it that route, or if you'd prefer to be together walking outside, I understand that as well.
I like the together, because I like the synergy of ideas. And I also know we're going into the Christmas, we're already talking about a holiday party. So I think we need to look past, into the new year at some point.
Okay.
I'm throwing that out. I don't know how other people feel. We've waited a long time to do this. I think we need to do it right.
The other problem that we might run into, I don't, maybe ask the attorney, if we have three together, you have a
Right.
meeting.
Yes.
And,
So we have to schedule a work session if we're going to do
Yes.
this. Yeah.
yeah.
Tell you what, you and I will talk about when is a good time to do it and
Okay.
exactly what we're looking to accomplish by this, and then I'll get with my peers here. So I will get with you on that.
Okay.
We have to be careful walking our dog, because we run into the chairman. Walking
Only
his
you though,
dog.
every Sunday morning.
I said, we can't talk, we have a meeting. We do have one other thing, Matt, as I raised the question earlier, can we change the time of our December meeting from the 6th to the 13th? Does
Give me
that
one
pose
second.
problems?
Can I don't know if my opinion matters. That's the day I defend my master's degree.
No,
Oh,
you
Lord.
have to be
So
here.
Wednesday is your day, is the day you're here? Is there any,
I'm here every day,
you're here every day?
but it's just December 13th I have to defend my master's, so.
Well, as far as, I mean, obviously, perfect world, we want everybody at every meeting. With that said, I'm assuming the next meeting, we're going to discuss Dogs Day Out, which would be imperative that we're all here. based upon the information you give us. So the 6th,
We won't be here.
you won't be here, which is a Wednesday. I mean, what is the possibility of sliding it that week to another day?
Thursday.
Or Tuesday, or Thursday would be better, actually, the 7th. I don't know how
Yes.
people.
I mean, what does that impact you?
I mean, I have an event, but if I need to be here, I will be here.
What about
Is Tuesday an option? Tuesday the 5th, or
No.
no? You guys are out.
Monday is the town council, on the 4th.
Monday the 4th, and then the 20th is ARB.
Is the 14th? It's
Thursday the 14th?
Thursday the 14th.
I'm out. I have my work.
How about Monday, the 11th?
It's town council.
No, the town council would be the 4th.
That's.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Monday
How
the
about Monday,
11th.
the 11th?
All right, let's just go around. Would Monday, the 11th work for you?
I'm free. After 5 o'clock, I have a no plan. So.
That would work for me.
I'm okay.
I'm good for the.
All right, so if we went Monday, does that work?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have class that
Okay.
night.
That's fine.
Sorry, that's the last week of hopefully my master's program.
Doing is a lot of time and effort,
Right.
so having a daughter that just did her master's and defended, I'm very sympathetic to that. So,
Is there any way we could move it to the same week of the ARB meeting? The ARB meeting is the 20th. We could probably do the 18th, that Monday night?
that's Monday, the 18th.
Who cannot, I cannot do it the 13th, but if I'm the only one,
I would rather, though, given of what we're going
I
to
can't
discuss, it would be
Okay.
good to,
have
what
everyone.
about Monday, the 18th?
Okay.
That's the week of Thanksgiving, but
No, it's
The week
December.
before
December.
It's the week
December.
before- It's the week before
Yeah,
Christmas.
too many dates floating in my
Move
head.
Christmas to December this year.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm still thinking about the tacos. Give me a break. All right, so if we went December
18th.
18th,
I'm good.
let's move it to December 18th.
Scratched out like 12 dates.
So,
Sorry.
so December 18th will be our PC meeting.
Thank you.
And that gives you time to defend, it gives you time to get this information to us, gives time to talk to the attorney, because you have Thanksgiving in there. And these folks can start doing what they're approved to do, and then in the meantime, we'll wrap this up, because this has gone on for a long time. All right, so the December 18th. Appreciate you all moving that. I think it's important, the best we can, to keep everybody together.
Thank you.
All right, any other discussion? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Third, fourth?
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, all right, thank you, good night.
Thank you. Good night.
And I need to sign this.